All right, Shalom Israel. Today we're going to be talking about giving alms to the nation, and giving back, basically giving back to the nation. Because alms, when you go into the word alms, that means charity. Okay, so we got to give charity to the nation. Okay, so that we can strive and grow as a people. Okay, so this will be a quick exhortation to the nation. Some words of encouragement. Okay, so we're going to go into the book of Tobit, chapter 4 and verse 17. So like here, chapter 4 and verse 7 in the Apocrypha. All right. It says, give alms of thy substance, meaning give charity of what you have. Okay, give a portion of what you have. Um, and when thou givest alms, let not thine eye be envious, neither turn thy face from any poor. Okay, so we have to give to the poor of our people. And the reason why I keep stressing to our people is because you don't want to give your substance to strangers, to heathens, the one that put you in the position that we're in, to the ones that put us as a nation into the position where we want to give back to our people, to uplift our people. All right, because think about it, you're not going to give a Bible to an Edomite or a Moabite. Okay, you're going to give it to an Israelite who needs one. Okay, I'm going to continue. It says, in the face of the Most High shall not be turned away from thee. Okay, so the Most High, he's going to be with you. He's going to be basically vouching for you, because he's going to remember the alms that you gave to the poor of the nation. If thou hast abundance, give alms accordingly. Okay, so if you have a surplus, or whatever the case may be, give it accordingly. Don't be afraid to ration out what you have. If thou have but a little, be not afraid to give according to that little. So even if you have a little, a little can go a long way. Okay. Verse 9, for thou layest up a good treasure for thyself against the day of necessity. Right. So basically, it's like kind of, you're like preparing, you're stocking up by doing good deeds. Okay, because the Most High, he'll remember that. Verse 10, it says, because that alms do deliver from death, and suffer not to come into darkness. For alms is a good gift unto all that give it in the sight of the Most High. So inevitably, giving charity, giving back to the nation can blot out sins. All right, because it can deliver you from death. Okay, so I'm going to go to 2 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 7. Okay, 2 Corinthians 9 and 7, it reads, every man according as he purpose in his heart, so let him give. Right, because if you purpose to, give an apocrypha to a brother who needs one, give it. Don't be afraid. Do what your heart desires, your heart, or what the Spirit allows you to give. Okay, not grudgingly, right? So when you give, you're not supposed to be holding grudges, saying, well, you got to pay me back or whatever. I mean, it's fine that you sometimes you feel like, you should get paid back. But when you give willingly and through charity, don't expect anything back, because you gave in the first place, right? You're not supposed to do it grudgingly. You're not supposed to hold that grudge, okay? Of not grudgingly or of necessity, for the Most High loveth a cheerful giver, okay? So the Most High, he loves a cheerful giver. Someone like a philanthropist, they give away money, okay? So you want to be a cheerful giver. You want to give willingly, okay? And out of the kindness of your heart. Okay, so let's go to Matthew chapter 6 and verse 1. Because giving can go a long way in this truth. Matthew 6 and 1. It reads, take heed that ye do not your alms before men, to be seen of them, right? So don't just give so you could be seen, oh, that brother, he giving a lot of alms. You don't want to be that one that's called out for giving just to be seen, someone who's giving for clout or attention. It says, otherwise ye have no reward of your Father which is in heaven, because the Most High, he knows your heart. And if you know good and well that you're giving alms only to be seen and not out of sincerity, the Most High knows that too. He knows it before you knew it. All right. So we got to do it out of sincerity and kindness for our nation. I'm gonna go to verse 4. It says, "Therefore, when thou doest thine alms, do not sound a trumpet before thee." Right? So you don't want to toot your own horn and boast about it. Okay? As the hypocrites do in the synagogues and in the streets, that they may have glory of men. Verily, I say unto you, they have their reward. Verse 3. It says, "But when thou doest alms, let not thine left hand know that thy right hand doeth. Know what thy right hand doeth." Right? That thine alms may be in secret. Right? So you want to do things kind of discreetly. You don't want everybody to know that, you're giving back, because it's going to be like, well, you're kind of doing it for attention. When really you want to do it out the kindness of your own heart. Okay? And thy Father, which seeth in secret, himself shall reward thee openly. Because when you do things sincerely, you're going to get that recompense, and it's going to be, rewarded openly. You're going to get rewarded in a good way for all men to see, because you did it in secret. All right. So with that, I'm gonna get 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 9. Remember, you don't want to be that one that's constantly doing alms just to be seen. All right. Keep that in mind when you give back. Salakia. 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 9. It says, "Use hospitality one to another without grudging." Right? So like I said, you don't want to be that one brother who's basically giving back, or that one sister who's giving back, and then you expecting, you holding your hands out basically to get it right back. Just do it out the kindness of your own heart, and be prepared to know that, hey, it's a risk that you're not going to get it back. So you kind of got to be prepared to let things go, even though we should give willingly and without a second thought to the poor. Kind of keep these things in mind. You want to use wisdom. Okay. And especially who you give alms to. You want to know who you're giving alms to. You don't want to give alms to a sinner. Right? Like, let's say you give money to a brother, and they might be in need, but they're a smoker. Right? You don't want to give alms to a smoker, because they're just going to go right back and buy another pack of cigarettes. All right? You want to give charity to that brother who's actually in need and who needs it. Okay? So I'm going to go to Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 29 and verse 8. Salakia. All right. Sirach chapter 29 and verse 8. It says, "Yet have thou patience with a man in poor estate, and delay not to show him mercy." Right? So we kind of got to be quick to basically give alms. We have to have a quick mindset to give alms and charity. We can't basically delay, because you never know what state that brother could fall into, or that sister could fall into. You don't want to have them go into a deeper pit, but you want them to be, you want to help them out as quick as possible. Verse 10, lose them. Oh, no, it's like verse 9. It says, "Help the poor for the commandment's sake." Right? You want to do it for the commandment's sake. That goes into that, love your brother as you love yourself, right? "And turn him not away because of his poverty." So just because a brother might be a little of a lower estate, or a little poorer than you, you don't want to turn him away. You want to uplift that brother. All right? You want to see him do better and come out of that low state. All right, so I'm going to go to Sirach chapter 12 this time. Go back to chapter 12 and verse 4. Because like I said, we got to be aware of who we give alms to, All right, so Sirach chapter 12 and verse 4. It says, "Give to the godly man and help not a sinner." Right? So you don't want to help these other nations, because first of all, right, the law wasn't given to them, so how can they be godly? If the law wasn't given to them, then they can't be, they're not on our level. They can't reach that state of godliness, and they can't even come close to us, when it comes to keeping these commandments. All right. So like I said, verse 4, it says, "Give to the godly man and help not a sinner." All right. Verse 5, it says, "Do well unto him that is lowly, but give not unto the godly. So right, so you see plenty examples in the Bible. These are just plenty examples that I'm giving in the Bible that show, don't help the sinner, and also, give back. Okay, so we see this constantly being reiterated. So if it's being said over and over again, that obviously means we have a duty to do. We have to do it. Okay. I'm gonna keep reading. It says, verse 5, do well unto him that is lowly, but give not to the ungodly. Hold back thy bread and give it not unto him, lest he overmaster thee thereby. Right? So if you give it to the ungodly, and they could really, try to play you, like I said with the cigarettes. If you give money to a brother that's using that money to buy cigarettes, and basically destroying his temple, he's gonna basically overmaster you by, making you think that he's, using your money for what for his benefit, when really it's destroying him. All right, it's being used for his sin. All right. um for else thou shalt receive twice as much evil for all the good thou shalt have done unto him. Right? So you're going to receive twice as much evil for helping a sinner, because the Most High, He's basically put them in that state for a reason. Right? That's why we have to be careful with who we give back to, and why we have to give to the godly. Okay? And I'm going to close it out with this. Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 1. So just that's something to keep in mind. All right. This is Hebrews 13 and 1. It says, let brotherly love continue. All right. So we got to let that brotherly love continue. We got to keep on giving back to the nation, give back to brothers who need it, back to sisters who need it, back to families, Israelites who need it. All right. We have to keep giving back and let that brotherly love continue, so that we can build up and, basically, make the nation look good, make the Most High look good, right? Because the Most High is giving us all things. So, why not make him look good, right? And with that being said, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashema Mashiach, Kamalak Yahushai. And I want to bid y'all peace and blessings to the nation, and shalom. All right.